This is the grain direction right here. And you could put a butterfly over here, but this is not well suited for a butterfly because this will encourage splitting, where this won't encourage splitting because the only thing under stress is this line here, this edge, and this edge here. And if you put a butterfly in and you have a crack like this and it's here, that's not really a good place to put a butterfly because that is going to be an issue. But since the crack was way up here, I still have all of this tissue here that's binding this. So sometimes a butterfly, when you're putting symmetry in there, one of them could just be for looks, just for symmetry. That's why you have so many, in case one or two of them don't have a good place to stand. If you put too much pressure on them, they might break the board. So that makes up for all the others. You really only need about half this many in order to make these, if they were all working 100%, which apparently these are. So if it was a rectangle, then these two pieces would still pull apart like this. But with having a flare, it can't. This little bit of wood right there is keeping this piece of wood from being dragged that way. You see, the forces are it wants to drag it apart, but with this wedge shape, it can't drag it apart. These two pieces are holding it together. If you try to put this board together in a closed system, these boards are like this on the tree. And when I book match them, now they're like this. Now they're moving in different planes. You see, when they dry and expand each year in winter and summer, they dry and contract in different planes. So these two boards are moving in opposition to each other. So if you don't put an open line in there, you're always going to pop that seam up and down the table wherever it has a weak spot. And no matter how many pieces of joinery you put in there, dominoes or whatever, you're going to have this seam issue. I got to this size because the one I was using before was too small. I think you work your way up. I put some on musical instruments and bass parts and all kinds of different places to secure pieces that may have movement. So any place where you want to stop movements, for instance, on this crack here, it'd be an excellent place to put a butterfly. If I didn't already have one here, I would think I probably would have put one in here somewhere. But when you already have one here, it's kind of redundant and it kind of muddies the waters. And sometimes I'll clamp these down. Most of the time I won't. Most of the time I'll just screw them down and hide that screw hole somehow. Black walnut is fortunate for being rather busy. So this helps hold them together. So now you just get the router with the inlay bit. I have a couple, 3 routers, and this one's my favorite. Festool. So this is the business end for inlay bit. This is what I call the donut. That little thing comes off. We don't want to take it off yet, but I'm going to show you how it comes off, so I'm going to get a tool. Okay, so that's about as much as you want sticking out of the cutter. Maybe that's even, yeah, that's probably about right. The reason I'm going to need more on this one is because these two are not the same thickness, and so I have to make up that, so I'm going to extend it out just a wee bit more. So all of this is going to get hollowed out inside here, so I don't care where I set that. It doesn't really matter. Just making sure I got a cut all the way around there. Yeah, that's basically all that is a mark for me to reference. And that's the finished edge. So now I just pull these two guys out. So that's okay. Here's something I screwed up. I didn't go all the way to the corner. One of the good parts about using a screw is you can put it back together by finding the hole, and you can put it back in the same place it was if you haven't moved it to egregiously. There it is. What it was the screw that was keeping me from going all the way around. My helper. Okay. Next step, pull the donut off. Let's take the power off of there first. Get this donut off of there. Just spacer. I always put it in my right pocket. I have never lost one. Now this time, we don't want it to be sticking out quite so much. And we're just going to lay it flat on a piece of stuff. So now we'll find what inlay wood we want to put in there.
If you like the videos, please subscribe. It helps me do more videos and bring more content to more users. Thank you.
It has to be side grain wood and needs to be just like that. Side grain, long grain. I just want to hold it down so it doesn't shift around on me. So this time I get the screws out of the area I'm working. Okay, now what I like to do is pull it into this corner right here. So when I feel it in that corner, then I can turn it on. And that's it right there. So that is the insert piece. That one. So now I have to liberate it from that. Bandsaw is the worker. I'm going to take that much off of it. Makes it easier to inlay. Okay, now I have to take it out to the sander and sand right up to the edge. So let me get my protection on. Okay, that cleans it up pretty close to the edge. And then this has to be done with a little a mini sander right in here because this is wrong radius for that. And this, you can see it tapers a little bit because this table's not flat. I kind of like that when I'm cutting it in because it shows me which side goes in. It's really tricky to keep this thing going the right direction sometimes. So when you're doing 10 of these in a row, It's really helpful to know which side is the go inside. And that hole is not cut yet. So we shape that hole next. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I put the pin right at the edge of that. This is a reference line for using the Sawzall. You could use, for instance, I'll get the other way. You're probably not all using the Sawzall. Most people use this. This is good. It's just not fast. I like fast. And it's dangerous for this hand. You start with the little teeth, put it at the edge of your cut, angle it with the direction of your cut, and use your thumb as a guide. And pull a little stroke down until you can get it on the line. And you gradually are looking towards, pushing it towards this end of the line. So you want to keep this lined up with the line. And if anything, you cut just a little inside the line, which will help facilitate your angle. Okay, now that you've got that line created, then you stay on line and go down the edge of your cut line. Now you can put pressure on it. And you pull right to the edge of the corner there. So again, here we go. See the edge of the line right there is right in that corner. So make a little pull right there. Keep in line with your angle and reach towards the line right here is what you're trying to reach towards. Okay, you've got that line made. Now you go down and continue, same angle, staying on the inside of this cut edge. Saw is not going exactly straight. And you see it kind of bent a little bit there. That's one of the reasons I like using the Sawzall, is I don't have that little bendy issue. And this was one of the reasons I decided to start using a Sawzall. So let me get the blade on it that I like for this. This is the Diablo. This is one I like right here. This one for wood. So 9-inch, little engineering there. So same thing goes here. You get your point right in there. Right in there. Look for the back. And then pull. So here you can go up and back in order to stay on line. See there, you can act like a file and stay on line. Okay, so you see where I've filed on that, and that back end's a little high. Okay, and this edge was a little... Okay, this won't fit in here completely yet because I haven't done this little edge here. That's what this little guy's for. see where it kind of mashed on it. Each time you'll go in a little further. Each time it crushes the grain a little bit, and you can see where to sand. You see it crushed the grain right there, and it crushed it down here and over here. So each time you can get closer to what you need. Okay. See, I'm putting my fingers here when I'm hammering because these two are liable to come out. This is the leading edge. You never cut on the leading edge. When I'm sanding, I'm not sanding on the leading edge. And the leading edge is the edge that's going to be out here in the face. Gotcha. I think I'll clean that up with a chisel. That I would like to get off of there. I really need to sharpen that chisel. My grandsons next door think that all I do all day long is tap, tap, tap. And we get the piece goes further and further in. For instance, this is what I used to do. I used to put a little mark to show me how far I went in last time. And each time you're going in about a 1/16 of an inch further. If you rush it, you'll take too much off and it won't look good. So it's best to just keep going slow. Well, if you have 10 butterflies, you got 20 sides you got to do this to. Yeah. This is just the bottom. Then I mark the butterfly and bring the other piece out and do exactly the same thing to that. It's almost in. That is pretty good right there, but this is just for demonstration purposes. I would do it a lot better if I had a project on the line. Yeah, this will get sanded down, and it won't take much because there's not much sticking out there anymore. And you get glued in, so it'll be full of resin. You number this one. This will be like number 1, and this is number 1. That way you can fit this side to number 2.